Everybody, it's Rock Bite. I'm going to be doing a special here today where, excuse me there, where I'm going to be just displaying a few different builds that you can do on Guan Yu these days. I should have another video coming up, just right after this one for you guys. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, what I will say is this is the build that I would do if I were supporting in Conquest, but it should ideally be fine to use anywhere you want, such as Clash Arena, Joust, etc. So aside from the Watchers, anyway, in Conquest, as the supports go, you want to start Watchers, just generalized, but unless you feel, for casual queue, you can get ahead a little bit, so you pick up a Bluestone. Situationally, you could sometimes get Mark the Vanguard, but ideally, you're going to want Watchers. Then, of course, there's the Bluestone. After that, you'll just get your basic potions here, your health pot, grab your mana pot here, grab like 3 of these, then get 5 of these because you're playing Guan Yu and you're going to be out of mana a lot, and you want to be able to use your heal and all of your abilities, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Next up, let's just say I'm just going to put the relic up here just for the sake of, you're going to grab it at the start. Generally, what you're going to grab early will be Shell, because Shell is just really good right now, providing all those protections and the mitigation that early in the game is pretty significant. But situationally, you can grab Curse if they have something like a Sylvanas or some other immobile character in the duo lane, or if they have a lot of healing on the enemy team, you can pick that up. Also, you can pick up Sprint if you feel you can get away with it. Meditation is a possibility, especially on Guan, but you're usually generally better off with you're always better off with Shell, I'd say, or Sprint or Weaken Curse. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to throw let's say a Curse right here instead. As for other things, I'm going to go ahead and you know what? Sorry about that. I'm just going to throw these down here. Sorry about that. I don't mean to do it all so weird like that, but I'll just go through. You get your Shell, and then you put your Sprint here. Don't matter where you want to put it. Just throw things like this. These are generally the only relics that I would ever really be building on Guan if I'm picking a relic up. After that, you're going to go for your boots. Now, this is a bit of a disputed thing among people. Some people like to go Talaria boots. That's been having a little resurgence as of late, and that's all right, I guess. You can get away with it. It's fine. Guan doesn't really need the power. HP5 is pretty sweet, and the gold's pretty sweet. I myself like to get Warrior Tabby because I don't really play. I don't play the ranked. I play the casual queue, so you can just do whatever you want for the most part. So you just get the Warrior Tabby to give the extra damage. But if you want, you could pick up. Don't ever pick these up. Never pick up attack speed. Does not work on Guan. Doesn't work on a lot of characters. Don't even bother with it. Greaves are a valid choice. I'd get it if they have a large amount of CC, but primarily the way you get it is for that 150 health. The power is negligible. You don't really care about it. So generally, just want this because this can What you got to realize is you still have that first 1 to 2 autos that'll be semi-quick, and that'll be extra 40 on it. This also adds 80 damage to your Talu Assault, 20 to your Warrior's Will. So it's whatever you want there. So Greaves Warrior Tabby, I just choose Warrior Tabby for the sake of having a little bit extra damage. Alright, so next up, generally here, what I will be picking up, you can do this in one or the other order. I like to get Breastplate here. I really don't like to pick up Salve anymore. I like to get Breastplate because what do I always say? Guan is mana and Guan is cooldown. These two things on one item with a big chunk of protections for that little money, that's really great. After that, me personally, I will be picking up a Hide of the Urchin to be something like, let's say I'm getting Watchers here, will be like boom, get the potions, get this, boom, 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 and then boom. Oops, excuse me, clicked the wrong thing. So there you go. You'd have these. This would be a lot of protections. You'd have a good amount of health from this because Hide of the Urchin gives a lot of protections and it gives health, and most importantly of all, it gives mana. Because Guan Yu needs that mana, but you have 550 mana. After that, as another item that I would consider, that's weird, it still says Shell. Oh well. And after that, another item that I would say would be a good thing to get. You're going to be looking right now to get a little bit more health, because what you're seeing here is level 20, whenever you have more health. Let's say when you're about this, you'll probably be like, setting it that way. I'll just use arrow. You'll generally be somewhere around like level 10, maybe 8 or 9, something like that. So if you're seeing 1500 health is really not a super massive amount to have. Now this is very optimistic projection of what you'd have here, but let's just imply that you're doing alright here. So, I just said, 1,500 health here is not too amazing. You also have only a little bit of magic protection. For all you know, they could have some like you have like an Agni getting fed mid. They could have a Scylla, Yanis, or even the worst thing of all that you can go up against is Guan. Would be like an Isis. I know Isis is very powerful right now. You don't want to deal with that typically. So, what should be grabbing here? What ideally what you want to grab is, say, a Bork or something. You can also pick up a Pestilence. Pestilence offers that 80 magic protection, 200 health, and anti-heal. Plus, anti-heal is also really good right now because a lot of people are playing characters with heals. Other Guans, for instance. And that's 25% reduction for people within 55 units or whatever they use it for the measurement there. And you're always going to be within that range because Guan Yu is a close range character. But you can also just pick up Bork, not a chance. The crowd control reduction doesn't really matter too much, but the health is nice, the protection is nice, and the passive is nice. But for the sake of this, and if you're in Conquest, we're going to say you're going to grab a Pestilence. So you'd be something like this, boom, boom, boom. After this, you're going to want to finish out that cooldown reductions. How much we got now? We got like 20? Well, let's see, what else gives cooldown here that we're going to want to finish up? We can put it up to 30, and then we can finish off with something else. You're not really going to ever be able to afford Mantle of Discord. Get these names mixed up. You can pick up something like this if your team's getting a little bit ahead and you notice they're getting kills and stuff. Ideally, if they're getting kills, you're going to want to get it, but if they're not, then I'd just go ahead and get rid of that and pick up a different health item. But granted, we were looking for cooldown here. You can go with Jotuns if you want. Let's say if you're getting Jotuns right here. Either one of those. Oh, whoops, I messed that up pretty bad, didn't I? You have to forgive me, I never really used the item builder. It's really weird how it works. There we go. So we'll just have that there. We'll throw a Jotuns up here just for the sake of situational. You might want it, you might not. Alright, so you're going to get rid of this here, and then you'll have, how much this is, like 1,500 health. You need some more health here. That's why you'd be getting the Mel Renewal before that. So it'd be like boom, boom, and then boom, right there. That's going to put you up at at this point in the game, you'd definitely be level 20 for at least a while. That puts you up at 2950 health, 186 physical prot, 163 magical defense. And this would also cap your cooldown reduction. A little bit over cap, I know, it's fine. It's fine to just go a little bit if you're feeling really uncomfortable about it, because what you're buying this for, Mel Renewal, is for the well, aside from the health, the HP 5 is whatever, you're buying it for the passive because that's mana regeneration. But if you're still feeling uncomfortable about that, you can just go ahead and pick up a different health item. Like, see, we didn't get the Bork on here, did we? No, you can get a Bork here if you want, because that's a decent health item. It doesn't provide as much, but it will work. There's also Gauntlet of Thebes, which it was not a super amazing item with all the anti-heal there is, but it's a fun item, right? This is casual queue. You're playing Smite to have fun, so you can just grab that. Alternatively, if they're having a lot of slows, you can pick up the Wing Blade. That gives you some crowd control reduction, which is whatever. It gives you movement speed, and most importantly of all of this, gives you the passive and then also health. So let's say you put that there and you get that somewhere in your build, but it doesn't really matter as long as you don't like get it first or something. And then that'll put you at a good amount of health. Your movement speed will be like 475, so that's 100 more than the natural one that you start at. So in general, you just want to play around. You want to have fun with it. That's the main goal of all this. You want to have fun, and the best way to have fun with Guan is just to get a bunch of cooldown and a bunch of mana, and just to completely tap your keyboard all the buttons. I know it's it just boils down to a lot of this. Let me get rid of all this crap. I don't know where this came from. Alright, so I'm going to go through the leveling order that I do in support generally. Now, what you should know is some things do change. They change based on how the match is going or what opponents I am facing. So, what you see me starting with, you get like Talu Assault, and then if I want to get a little bit more aggressive, I can go Warrior's Will, but generally I will get Conviction, because at this time you'll probably be taking a little poke from trying to get aggressive. Or if you try and Talu Assault and they have someone with some CC, and then they get you, like say an Athena. Athena still very common. Get by that. Next, you can grab your Warrior's Will, or you can grab your Talu Assault. Just for the sake of people who would be slightly newer at Guan, we'll just say Warrior's Will, because you want to have access to the mobility. After that, you're going to want your Talu Assault, then you're going to want your Cavalry Charge, then you're going to want your Talu Assault, and after this, you're going to want an extra point in your heal, because you are supporting. And after this is a toss-up. You feel that you're going to be able to get the damage from your ultimate. Is your ultimate up right now? If it's not up, then I wouldn't really bother with it, because it's still a cooldown that's going. By the time it comes up, you might be leveled up again, so long as you farm. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the recommendation that generally you will be going for the Talu Assault for that extra pin that you'll get on it, the protection shred for yourself. Plus, it's 100 more damage, goes from 450 to 550. After that, you're going to want to get that point in your ult, and then you're going to go for your heal, Cavalry Charge, heal. You're going to go Warrior's Will, Cavalry Charge, Warrior's Will, Cavalry Charge. and this will put you in a generally good position because you're going to be maxed out on your leveling up. So I'm going to save that there for later. All right. So this build overall right now is looking pretty sweet. This is a supportive oriented build where you're going max cooldown, you're just being a little bit bruisers. You'll still do some okay damage. It's all very dependent on who you're fighting. Now I have this down here, don't I? Let's put some situational defensive items that you could pick up. Number one of this would definitely be Bulwark, because Bulwark is awesome. So if you ever feel you need to pick out something else, you can always grab like that instead of like, oh, they don't have any healers or something that I want to mess with. Then you can take that out and just, oops, take that out and then put this in here somewhere, right? Let's go ahead and take all of these off real quick. Yes. All right. Up next, what we said here, we're playing situational defensive items and get some physical. You could pick up Midgardian Mail. This is a very decent item. Gives protection, health, and its passive is pretty good in this current meta we're in, where all these hunters and various assassins are going a lot of attack speed. They're getting shins, as is hunters mainly. They're getting shins. They're getting stuff like Odysseus bow. You might see a few Fatalis. Just everything has movement speed and attack speed generally. So this here with a 30% slow on the movement and attack speed is really going to save your life. That in between your tele assaulting, you're going to need it. Trust me. So you get that, and that's how much health is this? If you have to get those both, that is 550 health, and they both get protections. Not a lot of items now get protections and health, but just these two items, you'd have this much physical prot and this much magic prot as well as the health, counting the base amount, of course. So just go ahead and unbuild those here real quick. All right, for another item that I would say would be a situational pickup that you might want to consider. You would always have your Gauntlet of Thieves, just because it is a fun item. It is a fun item to have. It's nice to have. Get more value out of your heal. It doesn't help your allies. It's not like Rod of Acephalus, especially if Rod of Acephalus getting buffed. It'd be really sweet if Gauntlet was similar to that, but I just don't see it happening because physicals anyway. Those physical things. Anyway, another item. See, it was one of these that I think would probably be alright. Give me a second, guys. I didn't really plan all of this out. A lot of this I'm just freestyling. An item you can probably grab here. Spirit Robe would be decent against a very heavy CC comp. You'll see some of those these days, so just give it a little consideration. You guys can make your own judgment call on which items you want here. I was just giving you the baseline of what I would do as a support-oriented Guan. Let's see, what else do I have to go for here? If you're getting a little bit ahead and you feel that you can carry, let me just throw some stuff in the damage. You always have, since Guan doesn't really scale, you always have your penetration that you can be working on. So you can always get your Titan's Bane. This offers a pretty significant damage boost to Guan, late game that is. Excuse me. You might not think it's always the most efficient thing. For the longest time when I was earlier, I was like, oh, well, he shreds 30, so you're taking like 9, 10, 11 pen off of the Titan's Bane there. Well, it doesn't really matter all that much. So just, Titan's Bane, very good thing to be picking up. Let's see if any other damage items I can think of here that would really be super important for you to get on Guan if you were trying to go down that route. You can grab a Void Shield. A lot of people don't like it. It's just the thing I like is it's extra, 20 pin. So I'm just going to throw it there. I want to like shifters, but it's really expensive. And in a support, you generally won't get Void Shield either. I'm just throwing general things out here, as I said, for Conquest and for other modes, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this here, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. I should have another video following up very shortly after this one. If not, it'll be maybe 1 or 2 hours after, so you guys can actually see some gameplay. I'm going to try and play Guan, but if I can't, well, what are you going to do? Thank you guys very much. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think of this. If you like this style of video, I can do it for some of my other gods, such as Zhangqi, Bacchus, Kumbha Carnage, all of those gods. Doing these videos is something I really enjoy, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you leave a comment, or if you don't, that's fine. Anyway, thank you very much. Goodbye.